Art O'Cal here at Legends of the Ring in New Jersey. The man to my left, this is a little inside story. I don't think you even know this, is one of the first professional wrestlers to follow me on Twitter. You were one of the first ones. The Blue Meanie, and I really appreciate that, and I don't forget it.
First for something, you know.
Well, here we are at Legends of the Ring. I mean, we were just talking off camera about how you're meeting so many old friends. I mean, what's it been like for you?
Oh, these things are tremendous, especially Legends of the Ring. They're a top-notch organization. You know, do these twice a year. I love coming to these signings because it's like a high school reunion, really. I mean, I get to see people, you know, I normally wouldn't get to see otherwise. So, you know, even if I was just hanging out, you know, if I had nothing to do, I would just come out anyway to see the guys, see the fans. And the fans who come out to these things are tremendous as well. You know, you got some of the most knowledgeable fans here from around the world who come and say hi, and we appreciate seeing them. And, you know, they're the reason why we are who we are. So it's great.
How busy are you keeping yourself in professional wrestling now? How many bookings do you take a week or a month?
I try to do like three or four a month, you know, wherever my knees and my hips will allow. I'm also doing independent acting. I just did a movie with Joey Fatone, which came out nationally, called Mancation. It's Joey Fatone and Winnie from the Wonder Years. That's out in Best Buys and all that good stuff. And another movie called Miss December's coming out. Another movie called Community College. So I'm doing, along with the independent wrestling, I'm doing independent acting, which is great because if I screw up, multiple takes.
Did you find the transition was easy from wrestling to acting?
Yeah, a little bit. You know, like I said, in pro wrestling, if you mess up, there's no retakes. You know, with the luxury of acting is, you know, you can even improv a little bit, or freelance on the verbiage, and you know, if they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. But it's just very natural because I'm a natural ham as it is. So you know, especially if it's comedy. You know, that's right up my alley because, you know, I'm heavily influenced by guys like George Carlin and stuff like that. So any chance, to just be a ham, be in front of the camera and, you know, do my thing, you know, it's always a good time. So
I want to ask you about, obviously, the BWO is what many fans remember you most from. And take me back to the moment when you found out this is what you were going to be doing in your career. This was the next step. This was going to be the gimmick. I mean, oftentimes imitation gimmicks don't work. This one seemed to work. Like, what was your first impression when you heard, okay, I'm going to be part of this group?
I mean, I was very fortunate because me and Stevie had already been doing parodies. We did, the Blue Meanie Bloods. We did Baron Von Stevie and Colonel Meanie. So it was just a chance phone call with my buddy Al Snow. You know, I was just bouncing ideas off him. I was like, yeah, we should be the Blue World Order, you know how they have the New World, we should be the Blue World Order, you know. Instead of the bad guy, I'll be the blue guy. And just the way Al reacted to my ideas, it's like, okay, let me pitch this to Stevie. Stevie pitched it to Raven. Raven pitched it to Paulie. And it was supposed to be a one night gimmick. And just the way the crowd reacted, and I think they saw dollar signs with T-shirt sales. So what was a one night ordeal became a full year gimmick, and it led to Stevie main eventing Barely Legal, which was awesome. So and the cool thing is, I got to meet the NWO guys over the years. You know, Sean and Scott Hall and Kevin. And I was like, hey man, I hope you don't mind. And, you know, with the whole BWO thing, they're like, Scott Hall was like, oh, we loved it because, you know, Scott Hall would rib Kevin Nash, you know, hey, since the Blue World Order is the Blue Meanie and the Blue Meanie's me, I should be the leader of the New World Order. So they would rib each other back and forth like that because they would watch ECW like any random, you know, hotel or wherever they were staying. So just the fact that I got to do a parody of guys I respected and those guys liked what we did made it even more worthwhile.
And were you surprised? I mean, you mentioned Stevie Richards got to main event a pay-per-view for ECW in this parody gimmick. Were you surprised that it really escalated to the heights that it did?
I'll put this in perspective. A couple years ago, I went back to WWE for a little bit, you know, with the whole JBL thing. And we're in JBL's limo, getting ready to go out for my match with JBL. Or no, they even, you know, spray paint JBL's limo and all that stuff. And me, Stevie, and Nova as the BWO are sitting in JBL's limo. And Nova said it. He was like, can you believe in the year 2005 the BWO is still around and the NWO isn't? You know, it's just like one of those things, you know. And, you know, we kind of outlived the group we were doing a parody of. So just the fact that, you know, and I live right in South Philly. I live 5 minutes from the ECW arena. I can walk down the street and on any random day people yell ECW or BWO. which is it's flattering, and just to be remembered when there's so many guys who've come and gone. Some guys who maybe probably were more talented than me and never got a chance. I feel very fortunate to have had that chance, because there's a lot of guys I know who could have easily been up there, but I got the chance, and I'm forever grateful to anybody who gave me that chance.
You mentioned JBL. Obviously, that's one big thing that you probably get asked about a lot. I've seen tweets back and forth now, so I'm assuming that things are okay between both of you.
Yeah, unfortunately, the whole ugly incident happened with me and JBL, stemming back from when I was there the first time, and it was kind of like the grapevine thing. The thing between me and him, I said an offhand remark, how I thought he was a bully. And it's like the grapevine. You say it to one person, that person says the other, and by the time it gets around, back to JBL, it's morphed into something totally different. And, the incident, one night stand happened. And it was ugly, and we both regret it. But, the WWE flew me out to Sacramento. It was a SmackDown Raw Super Show. And they made us go in the room and talk it out. And I said, I laid it out. I said, John, the whole thing that sucks about this thing is I was a fan of Bradshaw, when he first came in, because I was a big fan of Stan Hansen. He reminded me of Stan Hansen. I was a big fan of his. And then when I get up there, I was like, you did this, you did this, you did this, you did this. And to his credit, he said he didn't remember any of that. So, you can take a man at his word. And, all you can do is just, take a man at his word and say, let bygones be bygones, With everything in this world that you can worry about, holding a grudge is probably the worst thing you could ever do to yourself. Hold that hatred towards somebody. It does more harm to you than the person you have the grudge with. And John apologized, and he was very sincere about it. And the fact that he said he liked he liked the ECW guys, and that's why we brought in guys like Sandman and Balls and Axel at the time. So. Years go by. I finally get on the Twitter gimmick, and every now and then I'll look through to see, oh, okay, I got new followers. I saw JBL was following me, so I was like, let me see, and maybe because there's so many imposter accounts.
That surprised you that JBL was
a little bit. The Jaws theme came up, bum 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 bum. And I was like, oh, is he behind me? But and then it took one fan to go. Are my eyes deceiving me? But JBL following the Blue Meanie, and he goes, yeah, I love the Blue Meanie. He's hysterical and all this. And I was like, hey, John, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to talk to you. And we're cool. I mean, we squashed it back in 2005. Sometimes it's just it's best just to get things out in the open and talk about them. And he apologized to me, and he equated, sometimes the wrestling business to, when he tried out for the NFL, and guys would, pull ribs on him in the locker room and stuff like that. And I can see, if you come into a company, people try to test you to make sure you want to be in it. But whatever happened. John's, apologized. We're good. We're Twitter buddies. We get along, and I wish nothing but the best for him, Did
that situation come out of left field for you? Because it seemed like ECW was very much a family atmosphere. So, I mean, I'm sure that you heard what may have happened in different locker rooms, but did it really come out of left field for you?
With the one night stand thing, or the?
The one night stand incident. Did it really surprise you that happened?
That night, yeah. Just for the fact that we were around each other all day. We were in catering, hanging out, we're sitting right next to each other at the same table. So, just the fact that, we get in the ring, and we had even rehearsed the whole thing, the face off in the ring, and, the stare down, and, when we were doing the whole stare down, I'm like, giving them the business to everybody. I'm like, hey, you want some of this? Blah, blah, blah. Hey, you want some of this? And I look, and, he's giving me the stare. It was like a bull staring at a matador wearing a red T-shirt or something. And I was just like, oh, interesting. And then the whole schmoz broke out, and then next thing I know, I had 8 staples in my head from the 2 nights before for the Hardcore Homecoming show that the Jeremy Borash did. So I get a punch right in the staples there in my head. So I'm like, what the hell? And I turn around, and then got punched, and I was like, let me start swinging back, you know, and, you know, we started throwing live rounds at each other on pay-per-view. And it was out of nowhere, but, you know, because I didn't even thought, you know, everything, you know, years before had escaped my mind. You know, there's really no reason to latch onto those things mentally. So it just brought back a whole bunch of memories, and, you know, unfortunately it happened.
To put a bow tie on all of this, though, like let's say JBL was here and you just happened to cross paths, I'm assuming it'd be very amicable.
Yeah, I like John. You know, we talk to each other all the time on Twitter. If he was here, I'd shake the man's hand. You know, I respect everything he's doing. He's doing a lot of great charity work. He's down in Bermuda. He's doing stuff with teens, helping he's keeping teens off the street. You know, giving them activities. You know, giving them good life lessons. I respect the fact that he's doing this. You know, where he's climbing all these dangerous mountains for the children. He's a good guy. You know, and he's doing some great work right now, great charity work, and I admire him, and my hat's off to him. You know, and he's a hell of an athlete. You know, like I said before the whole thing happened, you know, I was a fan of the man, and once again I'm a fan of the guy. You know, I have no animosity. I have you know, all the world of respect for him, for what he's doing and what he's doing for the kids down there, and, you know, giving them a future.
You can follow him on Twitter at @TheBlueMeanie. That's 2 E's. And I know that you like to ham it up, and there's a camera right there. And it's kind of funny. We're doing this interview here in front of this piano. However, to our right, there is a replica old-school Madison Square Garden microphone. So I'd like to give you this microphone, and I'd like you to wedge it between those microphones, because the most famous man to use these microphones, Mr. Meanie, is Howard Finkel. And you are really good with impressions.
I'm a die-hard WWF fan, so I grew up on seeing this microphone and Howard Finkel's voice. So let me see if I can. I don't even know if I should be doing. I don't know if this is bad wrestling karma, but
there's only one Fink, but still,
yeah.
Imitation's the sincerest form of flattery.
Let me see. Ladies and gentlemen, this next match is scheduled for one fall. To my left, from Minnesota, WWF Heavyweight Champion of the World, Bob Backlund. And to the corner of my right, from Tehran, Iran, the Iron Sheik. If I did anything good, you know, I became a good mimic. So, you know.
That's the greatest thing we did all day.
And I'll leave it on a high note with that. I can do several other invitations, but I don't think I can ever top that one.
Thank you for your time.